Hey, everybody, we're back for the post All-Star game re-ranking of the NHL. This is Five for Talking. I'm here with Caps, the captain of the show, and we're going to jump into this. We're going to rank these teams based on who we think is going to win the cup. I guess ground rules, same as always. Only one team from each conference is allowed in S tier. We're not going to rename the tiers this time. We're just going to keep it S2F. And let's just go. Share it up. All right, so we are here in tier list land. We'll start off with the first team. It got a little jumbled, so the first team is Tampa Bay. I have zero faith in this team ever winning a Stanley Cup again. I know they are the Golden State Warriors / Kansas City Chiefs of hockey right now, where somehow, no matter what happens, they just always have a decent season and make it somewhere. But I do not think there's a chance that they're the Stanley Cup team from the East.
I'm going to agree with you on that. However, they always have that chance, but I wouldn't rule them out completely. I would put them in an A.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't doubt that they're going to be one of the better teams, right?
Yeah.
Personally, if we're going to talk about winning, I don't think they're going to win. Okay, so yeah, ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
All right, the Anaheim Ducks. I think they're a D. I don't think there's even a chance that they make the playoffs.
Now they're about like 20 points out. So I think it's safe. It's a safe bet.
I think there's 0% chance they're going to make the playoffs. I would say, I guess, Arizona Coyotes, we got to go with the same idea there, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're slightly better than the Ducks?
By 1 point.
You know what, though? Arizona, I would say a majority of their points have come from facing actually good teams.
Yeah.
But they're losing to the bad teams.
Yeah.
They beat the Leafs twice.
Yeah, I think they've beaten Tampa. They've beaten Colorado. Yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
All right, let's put them ahead of the Ducks. I think just based on that, they're ahead of the Ducks.
Okay.
I don't think that really matters, but
yeah.
All right, you're not going to like me for this. The Boston Bruins, I'm saying they're going to win the Stanley Cup.
I say no. I mean, obviously that's my opinion. I think I don't think that they'll be able to sustain this. I think I mentioned this before. I've said it with friends. I just think that there are teams that will eventually surpass them in the playoffs.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So we talked about this last time, and I had a few conversations with people, and like I genuinely believe now. I understand your argument that like they won't sustain this, but we're like way more than halfway into the season, and they're still unbeatable. Their goalie still only has like one regulation loss. And I don't see them falling apart at this point unless they get injuries. I mean, if you want, they're definitely better than Tampa.
Yeah.
Can we put them in A at the top?
Yeah.
And then, we're going to rearrange as we go.
Got it. We can pick one out towards the end, I guess, from each conference.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
But I would definitely say that they're in the A tier. But we'll probably have an argument afterwards.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
I think they're a C tier. They have a playoff shot. They won't win a cup, but they have a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're just getting better. I just don't think this year's.
No, it's not for sure.
Year. I mean, they are 1 point out of a wild card spot, which is pretty impressive.
Like I said, I do believe they're genuinely a playoff team at this point, but they're not a team with a shot.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, here we go, Calgary. I think Calgary is a team that's definitely going to make the playoffs, but they're not an upper tier shot at a cup. They're a B for me. Any day before, I would have told you otherwise.
I
This
think
season,
we said something different last video, I think. Didn't we?
we had them near the top because last year they were a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And this year, I on paper, I said I genuinely believe their team is better. They
Yeah, me
just
too.
can't figure it out.
Currently, they're out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, I think they'll make the playoffs.
You
And
know
I
what's so
think
funny? The team that holds the last wild card spot is the Colorado Avalanche. That means that they would have to bump Colorado in order to get to that playoff spot or that last playoff spot, which I don't think that's going to happen.
well, Colorado could go on a winning streak and knock somebody out of the top.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Carolina.
Okay, well, they're on a huge tear. Their team is absolutely disgusting. If Boston is not in that S tier, it's for me, it's got to be Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, create any spoilers here, but our last video when we did this, we picked Carolina, and I'm still going with them.
Okay, you know what? If it's not going to be Boston, I will absolutely take that. We don't even have to have this argument. You could
I'm going with Carolina. I'm going to stick to our guns and go with our original pick, and I really like Carolina.
That's fair.
Because
I will not.
It's so
argue
funny
that.
because they started out okay, and then they just like fell off the earth, and then they just went on this huge tear again.
Yeah, as soon as they got everybody back in the lineup, they ripped it up, and they still don't have Pacioretty.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going with that pick. I'm sticking.
You know what? Absolutely. You do not have to question that. I will take that all day.
All right, Columbus. Wow, just
below Buffalo.
What a disappointment. I think in our last video we had them as they had a chance.
Hey, okay. I don't know which one of us it was, so I'm not going to name names.
Me.
But was it you? One of us really thought they were going to do good because I was watching the video recently.
I thought they were going to do decent. I think you said that they didn't have no chance, and I said that I think they're going to do decent. I think they were going to be in the middle of the pack, possibly fighting for that last playoff spot. But right now, they are last in the Eastern Conference.
There's a bit of an advantage to this specific video because in the first one, you're basing it off the prior season, what moves they're making in the offseason. You don't have anything pen to paper, you know what I mean? And now we've seen like 50 games, so we know kind of what the deal is at this point.
Yeah. I think D.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because they are the next team ahead of them is Montreal, and they are 10 points ahead of Columbus.
I cannot believe Montreal has 10 more points than Columbus.
Yeah.
Montreal was like the worst team in the NHL 20 games ago.
Yeah.
Chicago Blackhawks. I think they're at the bottom of bottoms. I don't think it gets worse than that. I feel really sorry for Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves.
You think they go at the trade deadline?
I think Taves does.
I don't think Kane does too, but I think Chicago would definitely have to retain salary on both players.
You know what? Actually, because don't both of their contracts expire next season?
Yeah. And
they're definitely going to take anything they can get at this point.
Yeah. I think they're going to be teams out there that are going to do the exact same thing that Tampa did a couple years ago. They're going to sit some people out, pick up some high-end players and try and go for a deep run in the playoffs, and then just activate everyone for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's my take. But yeah. Colorado.
Listen, I don't want to be that guy, but at this point, I know it's Colorado, and I know how we both feel about this. But at this point, I cannot say they're the S tier team. As much as I believe in them, they're so far out. And if they're one injury away from losing in the first round of the playoffs.
I don't think they were at any point this season healthy.
No.
There was always one person out.
McKinnon has been out multiple times. Landeskog still, I believe, is not even back in the lineup.
No. What do you think? I'm thinking I can't.
It's ahead of Tampa Bay for now. I think.
Ahead of Tampa Bay. Okay, so you are agreeing with me in the A tier. I was gonna say A tier.
Yeah. I definitely think they're not a team we can say no to, right? They're like Tampa Bay, but at the point they're at, I can't guarantee that that's my cup winner. You know what I mean?
I don't even think Manson came back yet. That's Makar's defensive partner. Like
Yeah,
that's
and they're having a lot of goaltending issues.
yeah. So they definitely are missing some key players.
Like, just to get into that for a second, I don't think keeping Darcy Kemper was the answer. I don't think he would have done much better. I don't think he's a much better goalie. I just find that their tandem situation right now is just not really working out how they thought it would. And Francois has really taken a step backwards. And this is a guy that you doubted, that I was super high on, that he was going to break out, and he just never did. He's having a terrible season.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Campos, I mean, you know, you're a goalie in the league and you're missing a lot of key players. It's going to be hard. Definitely going to be hard to
Agreed.
to play against the opposition when you're missing key players like that. But I definitely see your point.
I mean, unless you're Morgan Riley, where you benefit your team from not playing. But I digress. Dallas Stars. So, I mean, I also don't want to be this guy, but I think Dallas's team is pretty nasty.
I'm gonna have to put them ahead of Colorado right now. What do you think?
I was gonna say the same thing, so at least we're on the same page.
Yeah, just the way things are going right now. They are proving to be the best team in the West currently.
And they lost John Klingberg. You know what I mean? So on top of,
but the emergence of forgive me if I say his name wrong, Odinger.
Oh yeah, Odinger
He's
has
getting
been
better
great.
and better.
Well, you've been high on him since the playoffs.
Yeah, he's just getting better and better.
Heiskanen's been great. Roope Hintz and Jason Robertson, have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Joel Pavelski just doesn't go away.
Doesn't go away. I mean,
and Ben has showed up. Ben has really been, when he's not getting points, he's playing a really solid game of hockey. Like, he's a contributor. Tyler Seguin, I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but that guy's borderline useless at this point for the money that he's getting paid.
Imagine if he starts waking up.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah, all right.
Detroit.
They're like a brown buffalo, I guess.
Bright future.
Oh, for sure.
Just not their time yet.
So I watched a lot of videos actually the other day, and people are really expecting Detroit to be a huge seller. Number one guy that everyone's talking about is Larkin. Larkin is going to move, and he's supposed to fetch a pretty penny on the market. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, other than the Blackhawks, you're right. Detroit I see as being huge sellers.
And at the position they're at, for them to acquire more future pieces is like pretty good, because they're already close to being a playoff team. They're not far off. And Martin Jones has been great. Wait, is their goalie Martin Jones? I'm pretty sure it is.
I believe so. But yeah, let's move on. Edmonton.
Okay. Contrary to where they stand in the standings, I don't think that reflects on what this team is going to be. Jack Campbell has absolutely been the best goalie in the NHL for like the last 10 games.
Only getting their money's worth, eh?
I mean, we knew he was good, but we also know what his issues are.
Yeah.
I gotta say, they gotta be an A tier.
When these guys are healthy, they are an A team. And I cannot disagree with you on this, because you could see the impact. Like when Jack Campbell's playing and he's playing his game, and you could tell the difference. And you can tell the difference when Evander Kane is not there.
Yeah, it's like everyone on the ice is scared to play hockey when Kane is not playing.
Yeah.
But if all they need is, you could rank it. I would say at the end. When Jack Campbell's on or Skinner is on, all they need to do is make 20 saves, because Connor McDavid and Draisaitl are going to score 7 goals in a game.
Yeah.
Like, they're not asking for a lot. They legit just need a goalie to make some saves. That's all they need.
Florida Panthers.
I don't know. I was really high on them coming into the season. They started off decent. They faded. They came back again, and now they're fading again. So
I'm going to say here.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Calgary's a stronger team.
I
think the lineup is great, but like I said, you add in a bunch of guys here that weren't locker room guys. So as good as they are, you affected the chemistry of the team, right?
Yeah. They have the potential to like just turn on a dime and just like, become really, really good again, because they definitely have the skill and the talent. It's just not clicking. They're losing key leads in games, and they're losing key points in which they need to go up in the standings, but it's just not happening. Still a tough team to play against, but the fact of the matter is they're just not getting the job done at this point.
That's fair.
LA Kings.
I mean, I think to a lot of people this may have been a surprise. I don't think it is to me. I hyped them up in the last video. I think they had a great season last year. They made smart offseason moves. They're built really deep, two-way players. They're physical. They can score. They have a lot of experience. They have 2 decent goalies. I would say, especially if the goalies figure it out this year, they're at the top of B right now, as per teams we have.
So currently right now, LA is second in the Pacific. Edmonton has got the second last wild card spot. So you feel Edmonton is still better than LA?
I think on paper, the potential to explode out of the gate, Edmonton has it.
Okay.
LA is going to be consistently good, but LA is also not going to win the cup. So, you know what I mean? Edmonton you can't ever doubt Connor McDavid can carry you to a Stanley Cup.
Okay. Minnesota Wild.
The Minnesota Wild. I was super high on them.
Me too.
I think we both were.
Yep.
They're not bad, but they're probably like in between Florida or behind Florida. Like, I don't have faith that they're going to have a long run, but I do believe they're probably a lock for a playoff spot.
I'm going to put them. I'm going to put them ahead of Calgary at this point.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's true. As long as they're not ahead of LA.
Yeah. Montreal.
Ahead of Columbus, I guess, since they're 10 points. I don't believe they have a shot at a playoffs spot. I don't think there's much to discuss there. They have a bright future.
Yeah. New Jersey. Talk about a surprise, eh?
I mean, surprise team. They're playing really well. We talked about this a bunch of times. It's just clicking. Their young guys finally showed up. I mean, you can only have so many first overall picks before your team shows up to the party. But they got to be around LA. They're a good team. I can't see them going too far with their lack of experience. Yeah, you like that? Okay, I can live with that.
Now, there are going to be people out there that are going to be watching this and be like, wow, you put Edmonton in front of Jersey? Like, you got to understand that the East is much more difficult than the West. So, Edmonton's got a better chance of going deeper into the playoffs than Jersey does. So, that's what we're basing our analysis on. Nashville.
Yeah, it's more based on who do we think is going to win the cup, not how high they're going to rank at the end of the season, right? Nashville's got to be around ahead of Buffalo, maybe. I think they have a good team. They're not having the best season.
No.
They're always a threat to make the playoffs, but they're no longer. They're aged. I think they got to move some pieces.
They're like right behind Calgary.
Yeah, the West is like pretty built like equally, like two-way players throughout the lineup. Like you see LA, Minnesota. We're gonna see it again with some teams coming up.
New York Islanders.
I really like that trade they made.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in the episode, but I really like that trade, and I think that legitimately puts them ahead of Florida in my books. If you want to go higher, I'll take it. If you want to go lower, I'll take it.
Well, currently the Islanders are ahead of Florida in the standings right now by 1 point.
Yeah, I think that team looks pretty decent.
I'll put them ahead of. I mean, you know, Matthew Barzal. Did I get his name right?
Yeah,
I think I got his name right. Definitely is going to get some help with Horvat.
Yeah, and he needs to step up a little bit too. So
yeah. So I saw a video recently that somebody thought that it didn't make sense for New York Islanders. Are you nuts? This is actually a really good trade.
Yeah, that trade was great for both teams. Actually, it's one we talked about this, didn't we? It's one of the most fair trades I've seen.
I think we talked about it in the chat, but not
yeah.
But you're right. Okay, a team that you were really high on. I don't know if you still are. New York Rangers.
So
they still got the best goalie in the league, by the way.
In the grand scheme of where we are, so I'm under the belief that we need to have 3 teams from each conference in A, and we know that the Rangers they got to be up there. But it's like, I mean, there is another team that makes me question it. Do you believe the Rangers are a top of B team or a bottom of A team? Actually, where would you put it? Why am I asking you what I think?
The Rangers should be an A team right now. They could still potentially climb up the standings. They're currently 3rd place in the Metropolitan. Behind Jersey by 6 points. So Jersey's ahead of them by 6 points. They both played the same amount of games. If you would have asked us like months ago, we definitely would have had the Rangers in front of Jersey. Probably battling Carolina for that top spot. But, Jersey's been able to maintain this really good pace that they've been on, and it's really hard for me to put them ahead of Jersey.
They're better than LA.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Definitely tough.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I think there's another team that maybe deserves A for the East. Okay. Ottawa, the Ottawa Senators. I got the hat on. I do think, first of all, that's one of the best logos ever. Second of all, I would like to say I think their future is so bright, but they just don't seem to click as a team. Giroux has been amazing. Like, who thought at his age he was going to be playing the way he's playing? To me, they got to be around Detroit, maybe behind Detroit. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I think I like watching them.
I'm going to put them in between Buffalo and Detroit. I know that they are a work in progress, but Buffalo is still one of the better teams.
Buffalo's already a solid team.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue, because to me, Ottawa and Detroit are pretty similar in terms of their progress. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of that?
I'm good with that.
All right. Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay, you know what? I haven't watched much Philadelphia this year or read up much about Philadelphia, so I'm gonna defer to you on this because I know you have a bunch of information in front of you.
They're a 500 team. It's they're pretty inconsistent. It's definitely a work in progress, especially when you bring in a new coach like Tortorella, and he's changing things up. Taking tablets off the bench, trying to revert to a bit of an old school way, bringing them back. It's a work in progress, and I think it's going to take longer to get better in comparison to Ottawa and Detroit, who are already on their way up. So I think that Philadelphia are ahead of Montreal, but behind Detroit.
Let's break this tie of what you're saying based on the fact of what do you think that they can make the playoffs?
No.
Then,
based on the teams that they have, no.
Let's go to D. Let's put them at the top of D. I don't know why it doesn't want to let you do that for some reason. It's just doesn't like you. Okay, well, here we go. Pittsburgh Penguins. This is a team that I came in the offseason literally screaming at you for days about how good they were going to be, and you did not want to listen to me, and you were pretty right for not listening to me. They're not bad, but I thought they were going to be a cup contender. They got to be in B though, right?
I'm going to say yeah in B. I mean, you got to understand, we still got another, what?
They got like 35, 30, 60 40 games.
Yeah, like 30 games to go. Anything can happen. Your original take on Pittsburgh can definitely come true towards the end of the season. I'm just saying, as of right now, it's tough because for me, Pittsburgh is a B team.
I just find so much comfort in the fact that on our Instagram page, shout out to our Instagram page, follow us at 5 for Talking. I had multiple Penguins accounts fight with me for days about Marino was going to be the next big thing, the defenseman. And then this offseason, when they moved him for another defenseman, I was like, well, what happened to your guy? He's one of the top defensemen in the league, right? Why would you trade him for another defenseman? But I digress from my point, and let's put Pittsburgh maybe ahead of the Islanders or behind the Islanders. You put it. You place it. I'll take it. Yeah, I like that. Oh, yeah, I like that too.
All right.
Let's do that. Oh, I don't want to do this one, man. Seattle Kraken. I don't know. Okay.
Seattle Kraken, first in the Pacific, with 63 points, tied with LA. However, Seattle played 49 games and LA Kings played 53.
Okay, so I'm going to make the same argument you made, but I don't think you're going to argue back about this specific situation. I similar to what you feel about the Bruins, I don't think they can sustain this. Yes, they're a well-built two-way team. They have some goal scoring. They have a deep defensive roster. Their goalies are playing good. They have 3 starting goalies. I don't think that they go all the way. I don't think they're an A-class team. And I would hesitate to even put them ahead of Pittsburgh because I don't think that if you were like, 7-game series, Pittsburgh versus Seattle, I don't think that Seattle wins.
Ooh.
So just put for you to balance it out here, my ranking is around the Penguins, let's say.
I was going to put them behind Edmonton, but you make some pretty good points.
And I do think there's another team here that has a better shot than Seattle does.
Winnipeg. This is
Vegas.
tough. I was gonna put them at the end of A because you can't ignore the fact that they're at the top of the Pacific.
Boston's at the top of the NHL, and you just finished telling me that they are not going to win the cup.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying, but you argued that they were going to win the cup. I'm saying that they're still one of the top teams in the league. I don't think that they should go down to B though.
Okay, well, let's put it in A for now.
Okay.
Because they still that's the fourth Western Conference team there though. So one of those Western Conference teams is coming out of that.
Yeah, division. One's gonna get bumped.
I mean, let's be realistic. If you were asking me right now, comparing, I would say Seattle's better than Colorado, Dallas, and the Oilers. But it's just cup potential, right? Yeah. Okay, San Jose. You use your information for this because we know they're going to be in C or D. So base it on your gathering of goods.
They're ahead of Arizona, but only by like 3 points.
I would put them there then. I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, I'll just put them here because Columbus is so bad.
Yeah, I don't know how Columbus is so bad.
St. Louis, currently out of a playoff spot.
I know, but they have some crazy runs. They went on some crazy runs this season. They've fluctuated in the standings so much, and their team is good. It's the goalie issues because Dudu McDanielson in net is so bad. I'm not even going to name him.
Yeah, but here's my take. And you mentioned Detroit, you mentioned Chicago. I believe St. Louis are going to be huge sellers.
But sellers to the point that they belong in D, or sellers to the point they belong like around Detroit and Ottawa?
Sellers to the point that they're gonna they're gonna be in C, and I don't think by the time they make all those trades that I think they've given up on the season.
Okay.
My take.
Okay, rank them, and I'll move them up or down based on how I feel. I would say that's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this one's
this has to be the third team in the A tier for the Eastern Conference. They're without a doubt. It was either them or the Rangers.
Where do you put them?
Ahead of Colorado. Only because Colorado legitimately has a chance to not make the playoffs. Like, I know we have them high and we made our argument in the Colorado segment, but there's still a chance that somehow Colorado doesn't make the playoffs. And the Leafs are guaranteed a top spot in the playoffs. It's just, will they push? On paper right now, and as far as playing against the teams they're playing against, they're better than New Jersey. They're better than the Rangers. They're better than Pittsburgh. So, I mean, if that's how we're ranking it, I feel like they have to be in A. And there's no way you're going to tell me that Seattle or Edmonton is better than the Leafs. If you want to lower them from where I've put them now, I'm okay with it.
Seattle spanked them.
I agree. And Arizona spanked them twice.
Yeah.
Like spanked them.
Yeah.
If you want to go
okay
lower,
with that. I'm okay with that. As long as they get their crap together for defense, I'm okay with that.
Do you think Colorado should be ahead of them?
Based on the conference, I think this is fine. You got to remember that one Western Conference team has to go up a spot into the S tier.
Oh yeah, well you didn't even do that yet. Okay, yeah.
So
okay.
Just remember that, just going forward. But I'm cool with this for now.
Okay.
Because I know it's going to be a huge battle. With Tampa, Toronto, and Boston, like we know that for a fact that it's going to be a battle and a half. But anyway, yeah, I'm cool with that for now. All right, Vancouver. Talk about a mess.
Vancouver. I like the.
I haven't watched them since Rick Talkin took over, so I don't really know too much about how they.
I saw the last game when they had, what's his name, Bruce Boudreau. because we talked about it, so it made me interested to watch the last game that he was going to be the coach,
Mhm.
and they suck.
Yeah, they definitely gave up on him, and I don't even think he gave a crap at that point. But I'm just kind of curious. Like they're about what 5 games in with Rick Tocchet? How are they doing with Rick Tocchet? I haven't watched.
They're not going to make the playoffs.
Touche.
So it doesn't really matter what they do, I think. However, I think they have some pieces to sell. I think their future is decent. They do have like 3 legitimate star players with Brock Besser, Elias Pettersson, and Quinn Hughes. But are you going to get Hughes some help on defense? And I don't think Thatcher Demko is the guy in net. I'm okay with where you put them.
I think you're right. They got a bright future. It's just taking longer than it should have.
They're taking the New Jersey route of building a team where you draft really high guys, but for some reason it takes you 6 years to figure out what you're doing with them.
Yeah. Vegas.
I want to say they're an A-tier team. I think they're better than Seattle, but we know about all the issues they're having. But like realistically, they had such a strong start of the season. Where do they rank right now, standings wise?
They are 3rd in the Pacific. Yeah.
Do you think that they're better than LA?
I think they're the same.
Okay. Are they better than Minnesota? He has many notes.
I think Vegas is at this point. I think Vegas is ahead of Minnesota, behind LA.
Okay. That's absolutely fair.
I think Winnipeg should be an A tier.
I think Winnipeg is great. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think they're a cup winning team. Like, I know we have Edmonton there, right? We have to keep harkening back to our previous mistakes. But I know we have Edmonton there, but I do think having Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl far exceeds having whatever Winnipeg's got going on. But they do have Hellebuck.
They got an all-star Vezina goaltender. They got Scheifele, they got Connor, they got Pierre-Luc Dubois. They got a lot of talent up front.
But there's no argument you're going to make that's going to exceed Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl in terms of talent. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with what you're saying, but they're only 1 point. They're only 1 point behind Dallas.
Okay, you know what? Put them in A. Put them in A right now, and we'll rearrange as we go.
I'm going to put them right here for now.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we're going to have to do some rearranging here. Okay, so this is they're definitely in B. I think Washington is equally as good as Pittsburgh. They have a good experience. They have good goal scoring ability. They have solid two-way players. They're not going to win a cup.
Well, I mean, they just got one of the best players back. And I don't know why I can't remember his name.
Backstrom?
Thank you. My God.
I didn't know you needed the name. That's why I didn't say it.
I just had a brain fart for a second there.
But yeah,
I don't think Tom Wilson's still playing. Tom Wilson's not even playing, right?
Yeah, he is. He's back, but he's been day to day. So he plays a game, he misses a game.
They just got one of their best players back, and it'll be very interesting to see how things go. And they played well, for the last little bit. But
I'm a Washington guy, so you're not you don't have to preach to me. Preach to the people out there in TV land.
I just think that they're just ahead of Pittsburgh at this point.
Okay. Are they better than Minnesota?
Not in the in terms of conference, no.
Okay, so we'll leave that. We'll leave it like that. So We have to do rearranging. It can't be Colorado. I think it's got to be Dallas.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Imagine, can I just say something in terms of being a hockey fan? Like, I'm going to watch the finals no matter what, but can you imagine what it would do to the hockey universe if it's Dallas versus Carolina in the finals? Like, it's probably going to be the lowest watched Stanley Cup in like the last 20 years.
But you would definitely have a first time winner.
No,
because
Carolina won.
You're right. Jeez.
You don't remember that already?
06.
Hey, you remembered the year. I'll give you that.
I just slapped my own hand on film. There you go.
It makes it worse because you even knew that.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm all about a team that was a bottom feeder for their entire existence. And they're a underdog forever. Even when they're good, no one likes them. And I think that's why I like them. So I think if they faced off, I think Carolina would win. So I would leave it how it's placed.
Okay.
Okay. So
you're okay with us here?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. Let's move on to answer.
I think Boston needs to stay at the top. I think the Leafs stay there. I think Edmonton or Seattle needs to drop down. And for some reason, my gut's telling me Edmonton needs to drop down.
Wow. Okay. I thought you were going to go with Seattle.
I know, but like Seattle's been playing so well as a team, and we know how you feel about teams. And
or does one Eastern Conference team move up? Because then we would have like.
Do you think New Jersey is good enough to move up?
It's possible.
I would bank more on the Rangers if we're talking about winning a cup.
Wow.
I think New Jersey's playing well, but they do not have what it takes to win a cup. And I think New York has a pretty well spaced out roster. They have 2 first overall picks playing on the third line.
You know what? I'll go with that. I think one team from B should move up, and then we'll have like what 4 each.
I believe so. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll have 4 teams from each conference
in
as legit cup contenders.
Okay. I think that's fair.
So Rangers move up where?
Like leave them there. I don't think we should go all out with them, but I do feel like I think that's fair, and you agreeing with it makes me feel more confident about it.
All right.
Because yeah, and I do think the East is better. So the fact that there's more Eastern Conference teams in the B tier makes more sense to me. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty close. Though the bottom 3 teams are from the West. You know what I mean? So it could have been the bottom 4 teams realistically, but I'm okay with San Jose being ahead of Columbus.
Okay.
So I think that's good.
I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm pretty good with this. It's going to be a very interesting finish to the season, and curious to see what happens in the playoffs. I'm good with this.
Okay, so we'll leave it like that. Everyone, let us know in the comments what is your favorite team here and what is your least favorite team here. And have a good one.